These foot exercises will reduce your risk of falls, improve your balance, and make your feet stronger. For these exercises to be effective, you're going to need to take your shoes off. It's a good idea to take your socks off as well, as our feet are very sensitive and having them in direct contact with the floor will help with these exercises. Did you know there are over 200,000 nerve endings in the foot? There are 19 small muscles just in the foot alone, and the foot also has 26 bones. So it's a very complex structure, but one which is also pretty sturdy and tough. One final fact, we have an extra layer of skin on the sole of our foot and the palms of our hands, giving it extra durability when we're walking around. So our feet are more than capable of walking around barefoot. And that brings me to the first exercise, which is simply to walk barefoot, as this will wake up the nerve endings in your feet, get those muscles working harder, and start to improve the coordination of those small joints in the foot. Start off by just going barefoot around the house, and then start to go barefoot outside as well. Just walking around barefoot, not running or doing huge distances, but just a little and often will wake up those nerve endings in your feet and start to strengthen those intrinsic muscles. Research shows that people that transferred to doing more barefoot walking significantly increased the size of their muscles in their foot. And therefore, it's a great way of improving your foot strength and reducing your risk of falls. So that's strategy number one. Very simple. Take your shoes and socks off and just walk around the house barefoot. And then if suitable, start to walk outside barefoot as well. Now you've got your shoes and socks off, I'm going to show you an exercise routine that you can do to start to strengthen up your foot. The first barefoot exercise we're going to do is foot circles. Have your feet hip distance apart and keep the weight evenly through the foot. During this exercise, you don't need to lift the foot up. You're just simply transferring your weight around the outside borders of the foot. Let me talk you through it. Rock your weight forwards so that you're taking the weight through your big toes, and then transfer the weight out through your toes so you're taking the weight on the outside border of your foot. Then lean back so you're taking the weight through your heels, but try to keep your toes down when you do that. Then transfer the weight to the inside of the heels before rocking forwards again and taking the weight through your big toes. Out through the smaller toes, back onto the heel, back to the middle, and forwards again through the big toes. You're rolling around the outside of the foot and through the middle of the foot. So that's the foot circle exercise. It's a brilliant way to improve the coordination through your feet and to start to work on your balance. Next, have a look at this one. You may have seen this one on social media, depending on what sort of videos you like to watch, but this one is toe differentiation. So what you want to do is hold your toes down, apart from your big toe, which you want to lift up. Big toe up, big toe down. Big toe up, big toe down. And that shows that you're able to control the big toe independently of the smaller toes. You can also hold the big toe down and instead lift the toes. Big toe stays down, lift the toes. If you want to teach yourself how to do that, take one hand and place it over your toes and then practice lifting up your big toe whilst your hand holds the other toes down. Here's another exercise you might find a little bit easier. Start in a relaxed standing position without too much weight going through your big toes, because what you want to do for this exercise is move them towards the middle and then move them towards the outside. Once again, in and out. In and out. Or like windscreen wipers, you could go to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, or both in and both out, left and right. What you're doing with this exercise is strengthening some important intrinsic muscles next to your big toe, medically known as your great toe. Your great toe is very important for your balance, with or without shoes on. Please give this video a thumbs up if you're getting on well with those exercises. Now, have a look at this next exercise. Basically, they're calf raises, but a little bit different than you may have done before. Let's have a look. There are 3 parts to this exercise. Firstly, raise up onto your toes, hold, and back down. If you need to hold on to something for balance, make sure you can hold on to a countertop or a wall. Raise up, hold, and down. Okay, that's our warm up, and that allows you to just determine whether or not you need something to help with your balance. Next, bend your knees, raise up onto your toes, hold, straighten your knees and down. Once again, bend your knees, raise up onto your toes, straighten your knees and down. Bend, lift, straighten and down. Bend, lift, straighten and down. For part 3, lift, then bend your knees and then lower your heels. Up straight, lift, bend your knees, lower your heels, return to the straight position. Okay, we'll do 3 more. Lift, bend and down. Lift, bend and down. 1 more. Lift, bend and down. If you can do this without the need for balance assistance and you can do it under control, it shows you've got strong feet and excellent balance. I'm going to show you the final exercise now. Have a go at that and then please leave a comment to let us know which exercise you got on best with and which one you found most challenging. And the final exercise is toe walking and heel walking. So to perform this, make sure you've got a space in front of you where you can take 3 or 4 steps. A soft surface underfoot is best, or you can do this on a hard surface, but sometimes you might find it uncomfortable under your heel when you're doing the heel walks. So have a mat or a carpet or a rug that you can walk on. Here's how to do the toe walks. Lift your heels slightly off the ground, not as far as we did last time, and then walk forwards without letting your heels touch the ground. You can just go forwards, turn around and go back again, or if you're feeling adventurous, you can walk backwards without letting your heels touch the ground. Next, heel walks. Take your weight on your heel and keep the weight on your heel. Try not to let your toes drop down to the floor. This one feels a little bit more awkward, but is a good exercise for strengthening the muscles on the front of your shin there. They are your tibialis anterior muscles, and they're important because when we walk, we need to lift our toes up so we don't catch our toes. If these muscles aren't very strong or not working properly, then as we walk, we might catch our toes on the floor or on a step, and that can cause trips and falls. So I did a separate video on strengthening for these muscles. But as for now, all you need to do is walk on the heels, keeping the toes up, and that will strengthen your shin muscles, important muscles for walking. If you're suffering from foot pain, have a look at one of these videos showing on the screen here.